After the Paranormal Liberation War arc, we come to discuss that Shigaraki's potential is through the roof, and he made himself a powerhouse right after this arc. Taking down the likes of Endeavor, Ryuku, and other pro heroes, he made himself known as probably one of the strongest people in My Hero Academia as of right now. So in today's video, we'll be discussing Shigaraki's terrifying potential and how it could lead up to the downfall of Hero Society. But if you guys are new to this channel and like the content you see here, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification, always stay notified whenever I upload. Also follow me on Twitter in case you want to get any updates on my channel and about upcoming videos. Now with all that out of the way, let's get right back into the video. Now obviously, about Shigaraki's potential, we need to go right back into the war arc and see what he did notably to make him a fearsome opponent and what makes him a complete menace to society as of a whole. Now in the war, Shigaraki was only 75% complete, and Endeavor already compared his sturdiness and toughness to All Might, and not Prime All Might, the All Might that was in the beginning of the series in My Hero Academia. You can make the argument that Shigaraki with all his quirks could even be above that, but even him without the quirks and being nerfed by Aizawa, he was easily able to show off this power comparable to All Might that made Endeavor remember. Like I said, obviously we're using beginning of the series All Might, and beginning of the series All Might was able to take on this Hayanomu, which specifically was made for him. Now obviously you can say that Endeavor is not referring to this All Might, he's referring to the All Might that fought against All for One, so we can also use that one. What's also incredible is that 75% of Shigaraki was stated by Dr. Jiraki to destroy everything. They thought that everything that the heroes worked for would be destroyed by a 75% complete Shigaraki. This is how broken a 75% Shigaraki could be. He was able to tank attacks from Endeavor and tank attacks from 100% Deku. Obviously Shigaraki not being complete has its downsides, which means his body breaking apart, which is pretty bad on his part. Take this statement from Toga with a grain of salt, with her saying destruction for all, and it shows a panel with Shigaraki, well not with Shigaraki, with Japan being destroyed. Now, you can take this any way you want. It's basically just Shigaraki destroying Hero Society from its core, or Shigaraki just destroying Japan straight up. Now obviously Shigaraki is no longer a man-child. He has developed into a competent leader and knows how to lead a group of people, which are the League of Villains and the Paranormal Liberation Front. So we need to talk about All for One, because he is right now controlling Shigaraki. Now after the Tartarus prison break, we already know that Shigaraki is already All for One's puppet right now. And All for One did say that his quote-unquote turn is never going to end. Now obviously if Horikoshi wants to go to the route where All for One just uses Shigaraki for the rest of the series, that's completely fine, but I think that Horikoshi's not going to go for this route. I think that Horikoshi's going to give us that Shigaraki will be the final villain of My Hero Academia and be that antithesis to Deku. Now of course Shigaraki's still a puppet for All for One, so how are we going to make this guy the front and center bad guy of the entire My Hero Academia? I do have a theory about that, and I'm going to say real quickly, I think All for One is going to end up killing All Might to the point where it turns Deku to a down spiral for him having to go out and kill All for One. Or another thing that could happen is Shigaraki kills All for One himself. But let's say two of the things I just said come to fruition, and Shigaraki is now the final villain of My Hero Academia, and he will be the final villain until the end of the story. Now, his potential. Now, Nana already knew the destructive capabilities of Shigaraki. She even wanted Deku. Well, she asked Deku, can he kill Shigaraki? Now, you can interpret this any way you want, of her just trying to test Deku, or her wanting Deku to respond. Also, in chapter 305, Nana says something very interesting to Deku when she's talking to him about Shigaraki. Nana basically says, if that thing grows and reaches its full potential, no one will be able to stop it. And that means not even Deku, who has One for All, and he might even master 100% of it, but she doesn't even think that he could be able to stop it at that percentage. Now, you may be saying that she's only saying this just to see if Deku still has the resolve to save Shigaraki. Now, you can also interpret that any way you want, but I think that she's completely serious about that. I wholeheartedly think that Shigaraki has the potential to destroy everything. He will destroy everything if he reaches that 100% state, and Nana was not joking or kidding. Shigaraki might be the strongest opponent in My Hero Academia if he reaches that 100% state. Now, see what Deku says about Shigaraki when he's done with Muscular. He says that it took us all we could not defeat Shigaraki, and that was just 75% of him. Even with Aizawa and Endeavor, that didn't do anything. So Shigaraki low-key literally took these guys to school. And that makes sense. We have power comparable to All Might. You should be taking some of these guys to school, which is Endeavor, Deku, and etc. When Deku ditches All Might, he says he's comparable to him in his prime at speed and power. Now, you could say that Deku's just doing this just so All Might doesn't have to worry anymore, but I do agree that he did say it's just so he doesn't have to worry. Now, obviously, Prime All Might is the strongest person in this series that we know of in My Academia, and the only person that could probably come close to him or hold a candle is All For One. So Deku might be capping at this, but this is not a Deku video. This is about Shigaraki. Now, with all of Deku's quirks, if he's able to completely surpass Prime All Might, then 100% Shigaraki would be far stronger than Deku ever would imagine. So this is not only bad for Hero Society, it would be bad for Deku. A 100% Shigaraki would signal the end of Hero Society and the end of Japan itself. So Deku would probably lose against Shigaraki in a fight because of massive regeneration, multiple quirks, and not only that, he has Search at his disposal in case Deku tries to hide. Now, we know Shigaraki and the League of Villains are just people. Shigaraki just sees himself as a leader and nothing more. He doesn't see himself as a god among the League of Villains. He's just a guy that's trying to make their dreams become a reality. So definitely, he's going to find out that Gigantomachia and Compress and Twice his death, he's definitely going to go on a rampage. Because I'm pretty sure he saw them as dear allies to him. So him basically going berserk or ballistic, finding out their defeat and Twice his death, he might just destroy everything in his path to get revenge for them. Now, for the pro hero side, it's looking kind of like an L for them because they're either nerfed or people have retired. Mirako is a prime example against the multiple Hayanomu. She's basically completely out of commission and not at her full strength. And Vegeta only has one lung, and he's probably going to cough up blood even trying to restrain Shigaraki. And again, Endeavor is probably the only one that's 100%. But again, you still have somebody like Edgeshot and Aizawa, but Aizawa lost a leg as well. Right now is a perfect time for Horikoshi to make a statement that Shigaraki is somebody not to be messed with, and someone that will be staying for a long time. And this might be the downfall of Hero Society. They allow this man to get 100% of his power of All For One. And that, everyone, was the terrifying potential of Tomura Shigaraki. Now, we can be completely honest here. I think Shigaraki is going to stay for a very long time and see himself as a force in My Academia, but not only that, in Shonen Jump. So he's definitely going to stick around for a long time. Now, obviously, why I said in this video is completely subjective, but if you have stuck around for the rest of the video and you made it to the end, well, congrats. And this has been the end of the video, and it's been the Red Cloak. I'm going to head up out of here, guys. Peace out. I'm out, guys. Peace. Have a great rest of the day, and stay safe and enjoy yourself.